Good morning, community. Welcome to our Tuesday, final Tuesday of the month of November study. So glad that each of you are here. Thankful for Jen on this morning and for her just popping up the different things that we have coming. So I want to remind each of us to make sure that you're watching and tracking with the announcements that are being posted in the community so that you don't miss out on something really, really valuable. She did just post for a moment that we have our final in-person get-together coming up on December the 17th. So if you'll go ahead and save the date for that, it's our pop-up. For those of you who came to our last pop-up, you know that it's a wonderful time of being in community together, connecting, getting to hug it out, check it out, chat it out. We get to put some faces with some names that we regularly see, and women come from all across the city and from out of town to have that quick moment together. And so it's worth it. It's worth it to invest in yourself, to invest in just these rare moments that we have to be the community out loud and in living color with one another. So please go ahead and put on your calendars Sunday, December the 17th from 2 to 4. It is a quick pop up. And those who came last time also know that we will be in and out. So you just come right on in. I did put that the theme attire is boas, but as I said to you all, honey, myself included, don't let that stress you out. If you don't have a boa or something of that nature to just put on for festive and holiday, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you're in the place to receive of that moment. And I'm particularly excited because my dear sister friend will be joining us, Rachel Lockett. Many of you know her. She is a psalmist, but more than that, she is a worship leader who ushers you intentionally into the presence of the Lord. And so we will have a time connecting with one another and also being better together with God. So please plan to meet us there. Those of you who are placing orders for the t-shirts, Queens See Queens, as well as the book that we will lean into in January, as is our annual practice to really lean into that self-devotional, that meditational devotional that does lots to remind us of who we are in God, who He says that we are. We get to pull away nuggets from real life queens, from real women from the Bible, from historical eras in our time, and learn some very valuable lessons in a very practical way, a fun book study. So prepare to join along with us. I remind those of you who have them already, just dust them off, honey, get them on out. I am always evolving and going to a new edition and getting better, as we all should in the things that we do. But no worries. If you already have your copy, just pull that on out. For those of you who need to order a copy, go ahead and do so. If you're planning to get your good Queen See Queen shirt, those are all available on the website at www.drginalyn.com. And here's the thing, for everybody who's planning to join us in person at the community, who's ordered, I will have your merchandise there so that we can move forward. But it's going to be a powerful time of leaning in with one another and leaning in with God. I am so excited to speak over some woman's life today as we deep dive into this story, Caught, as we deep dive into this notion that she's guilty, but she's growing. For some woman who's beating yourself up because either you're disappointed with you, or you feel as if choices, decisions, just things that have happened, even particularly this year, those things that you've done, that they are a disappointment to God. I have restoration news for you on this morning as we lean into his beautiful word. So let's get prepared to eat and let's trust that he will teach us today. If all of us will go ahead and lean on that love button, reminding one another that you are in a safe space, that this is the place where we truly believe that we are better together, and we welcome God's, do it this way, we welcome God's teaching, and we welcome his instruction. We hear him with our spirit mans and with our whole hearts, and we step into these nuggets by faith. And so to that woman today who you're beating yourself up, you are disappointed with where your life is. You know that based on what was poured into you are things that you knew, are the home training that you had, or the spiritual upbringing that you had were under. That's where your tutelage was. There you have disappointments in your heart about where your life is right now, because you feel as if you should have been further along, that you should have been more advanced. You can name people in your family circle or in your friend group who had the same upbringings and opportunities as you. And when you look around, where you are and where they are two completely different things. And some of those things that you count as poor choices, you are honest enough with yourself to say, I know better and I should have done better. And some woman needs to overcome silence in this moment and even say out loud verbally, perhaps where you are in your home or as you're driving, or you even need to maybe put it in the comments to break the shame of silence. Somebody hear that on today? Some things we speak to break the shame of silence. So some woman may need to say, that's me. This redemptive nugget that we'll focus in on today is for you. So I'll give all of us a moment to process that. Some of you may feel as if, man, I really let God down with that divorce that happened, or with that falling that I had, that poor choice that I made, that disappointment that led me into some type of behavior. And I know that I sinned against him and I let him down. And I'm over here beating myself up about it. And I look back at 2023 and I'm not pleased with what I see in my life. Maybe you need to also step into the midst of us on this morning, like the woman who's caught. Maybe you need to step into the midst of us, your safe community space this morning, and you need to break the shame of silence by saying, that's me, because we serve a God whose mercies for you are brand new this morning. His compassions, they did not fail. When you woke up this morning with breath in your lungs, his love and his compassion woke up with you. And you're right here in the midst of us. Everybody, please lean on the love button and surround that space with love. Some sister is saying, that's me. That's me. I overcome silence and the shame of silence in Jesus' name. And so here's where we start off again in our beautiful story. This story, y'all, I want to remind us, be careful not to lose the essence of the Bible by forgetting that we read the Bible in hindsight. We read the Bible oftentimes getting the benefit of hindsight, getting the benefit of knowing the end. But if we allow ourselves, I see you, and I want to pause right there. I see you all saying that's me. Community, if you're looking at the live and you can see the different names, you can see the sisters putting that's me, then go ahead and run on under a name and give her a hug, give her some indication that we got you. There's no judgment here. If you're the person who's feeling like, man, I messed up, I let God down, because after all, we're talking about guilty but growing. So we're holding space for the women who are saying, I'm the one, I'm she. I'm the one who maybe mishandled my children, or mishandled a friend, or mishandled a relationship. I see you, and I want to acknowledge the one who's saying, I should have done better. Sis, you're not by yourself. They're decisions that we've all made. Honey, you're bold enough to jump out there and just say it, but I want you to know that you're not by yourself. I see several that's me. So if y'all help me minister to the community today, you run under a name, you run under a sister and give her a high five, or give her a hug, or give her, I got you, sis. No judgment. They better not shoot a crazy look at you. I got you. Somebody tell this the community, I got you. So it's important, y'all, to hold space for those women, for these women. They're us. She is me and I'm her. I see another, that's me. Let me just pause, because I keep trying to move past it. So let me just pause right there for some sister who really needs to overcome the silence of shame on today. And you need to be able to say out loud, it's me, y'all. I've messed up, and I knew better. I know I messed up. I know I made some choices. I know I did some stuff. And man, if I could wash it away, if I could do it all over again. And I got some good rationale. Y'all, there's another, that's me. Somebody meet her and give her a hug. Somebody meet the other one who just came in and said, Jesus, it's me. Y'all, let's let's acknowledge them. Let's hug them. I see another sis saying, I mishandled me. Yeah, sometimes it's that where I know I sold myself short. I know I settled for a standard that was less than. I know it's me. Y'all get right with them and just let them know, I see you. I messed up. I see somebody else saying it. It's me. Man, God always knows what he's doing. And so can you then imagine, y'all, that's this lady. As I was saying, we can read the Bible from hindsight, and we can know the end of the matter. And in knowing the end of the matter, we can forget what it possibly was like for that woman in that particular moment, right? I see somebody else saying, if only I could do it all over. Sis, I have so been there. If I could take it back, if I could bring back those words. I remember getting off of a conversation yesterday. Honey child, listen, and everything that I said was true. Every single thing. Everything that I said was true. Y'all, it's a quick digression. Y'all know I'll be having these digressions. I know people love to say that there are two sides to every story. Just because it's two sides to every story don't mean the other side is true. Like, people say that as if for every situation, one person's perspective and one person's um um recounting of it is just a story, and the other person's recounting of it and way of being about it is just a story, because there are two sides to every story. Could be three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. I'm gonna help them set somebody free right now. Sides to every story, but it don't mean that every side is true. There is still such a thing as a lie and the truth. Okay, I just want to put that playing field out there, right? There is still such a thing as the lie and the truth, right? So I see all of y'all saying that, and keep coming on in as I expand on that, why I'm saying that. So yesterday, everything that I said about what happened, it was factual, it was actual, it's the truth. And there could be other sides to it, but what I said is factual, actual, it's the truth. But here's what convicted me: who I said it to was wrong. So those of you who are stepping into the space right now, when I felt the conviction of God, I felt like I've been working on this here right here. What I said was true, but who I said it to was wrong. Who I said it to was wrong. This, y'all, this fresh, this just yesterday. I'm saying that for every sister who on this morning, who on this morning is saying, man, I messed up. And I see the sis who's saying, oh Lord, you're so right. My story is true. What I'm telling and what I'm recounting is factual and it's actual. But it doesn't mean that my audience is right. It doesn't mean that my intentions are right. It doesn't mean that my desire for vengeance is right. And so there are many of us who can quickly then step into the shoes of the woman who is caught, and the act, as they say, when we get ready to run there in John, she's caught. There's no denying that you're doing and you've done what your accusers say. Even if you're your own accuser, there's no denying that these choices that were made, they really did happen. And so she's been escorted out, y'all. She's being escorted out to Jesus. She's being brought out into the mist, and she's been exposed. She's being exposed, y'all, with intentionality. Can you imagine all of the things that we are talking about? The things that we're saying, I knew better. It was me. I'm guilty. I did that. I made that choice. I'm the mistress. I'm the betraying friend. I'm the poor mother who no, I'm the mother who made some poor choices, because you're not a poor mother. It's me. Can you imagine? She's caught in it. And then the accusers bring her out into the mist to put her on display. Can you imagine all of the things that you're just acknowledging, but we didn't even say what it was? Can you imagine that not only are you caught in it, but somebody goes through the action of bringing you out into the public and announcing and saying what the sin is? She's You got to feel that moment. She's caught. She's guilty as charged. Can you imagine the weight of what possibly was running through her mind? Because she's in this town and these folk know her mama, they know her daddy, they know, right? Can you imagine the shame that perhaps encompassed her? She thought about, maybe she has children, and now her children are going to know. Or are the women that she goes to the tabernacle, they're going to know. Think about it. If somebody was really about to knock at your door, because I need you to get the magnitude of our good daddy God, the magnitude of our elder brother Jesus. Can you imagine, like right now, somebody was about to knock on that door, ring that doorbell, and say, come on out here. We're about to put the thing that you just acknowledged, honey, we're about to announce it. We're about to put it on all social media platforms. We're about to call a church meeting. We're going to explain what you did. We're about to do all of that, y'all. We're going to do all of that. And these people going to know the details of the stuff that I just say, me too, I'm guilty about, y'all. They do that, and they bring her out. They bring her out, y'all, because they've caught her. Can you imagine? And as they are taking her out, get this, y'all. Get this. As they are taking her out to expose her, to ruin her life with an agenda about someone else, get this. She may not even be sure of who he is. That's why I say it's critical for us to really get that we read the Bible from hindsight. We read the Bible from hindsight, right? We read the Bible from a space of knowing what the end result is. But as they are preparing to bring this woman who is caught in adultery out before him, get this, she may not truly understand the depth of who him is. She may not have even come into, obviously, a relationship with him. So inasmuch as she's concerned, he's potentially another accuser, another person with the authority to sit in judgment and call her guilty for something she already know, right? Have you ever been there where somebody's bringing up a mistake, a poor choice, reminding you of the guilt and the shame and the judgment that you already know? You already packed that all by yourself. She doesn't know him as Jesus, the Savior. She doesn't know him as Jesus for whom the chastisement of her peace of mind was already upon him. She doesn't know him as the one who got up with victory and broke sin and shame. She don't know that Jesus. We know that Jesus because we read the Bible in hindsight. Inasmuch as she knows he's another person who has his finger pointed, another person who's going to take advantage of her mistakes and her poor judgment and her choices and the act that she was caught in. We got to get that. We got to get that. But here's where I invite us to step into her shoes. Some of us, with the work that we've been doing, we have to recognize that even though we read the Bible from hindsight, we still have this real-time narrative of who he is. Hear me. Even though you know that he was wounded, y'all, for your transgressions, we can still interact with him in this real-time narrative like the woman who is caught. We can literally operate with our self-condemnation like we don't already know he's given us forgiveness, like she gets an out because she does not yet have that narrative of who he is. He has not been hung and bled and died so that she can be in right relationship with our good daddy God. His back has not already bore the stripes for the chastisement of her peace. She doesn't know him and engage with him as the one who got up with all power in his hands. She's not yet experienced the blood that dripped from his veins because he sweated at the weight of the assignment to undergo crucifixion so that she could be set free. She knows nothing about the one who is hung upside down on the cross and becomes the accursed thing so that every curse in her life could be broken. She don't know that Jesus, but you and I do. And we can still be, listen, only guilty of this one thing. We operate with the one that we have heard about, like he is the one that we know nothing about, and we carry the weight of the shame with the same magnitude that this woman does. But you and I know about our Jesus. You and I know about his redemptive power. You and I know that he was wounded for our transgressions. You and I already know that he got up with all victory in his hands. You and I know that he questioned death and said, where is your power? And where is your sting? So the only thing that we're truly guilty of is living in this current day with a hindsight awareness of who Jesus really is, but we operate like we're brand new, like we truly are just caught. We operate like we've not met him yet, and we don't step into by faith this grace and this compassion and this forgiveness that he's already paid the price for. My God, today, somebody say, I receive the him that I know. Man, by faith, I receive the him that I know. By faith, I receive the him who has forgiven me, the him who has washed me, the him who has set me free, the him who's chunked my junk. Y'all hear that? That's a whole t-shirt for Reese, Dolores Teller. The he who has chunked my junk into the sea of forgetfulness. The he who says brand new. The he who reminds us, I'm going to do a new thing. No, I didn't tell you it was going to be easy, but I did say I was going to do a new thing. I receive it by faith. I know some of us get up each morning and we see the residue of the stuff, y'all. And it reminds us just as loudly of how long we stayed when we should have got out. It reminds us just as loudly of the him that we keep going back to, even though he's no good. It reminds us of the loneliness that we can feel. The depressive thoughts still try to tap us on the shoulder, and the winds that we didn't quite catch. Like all of that gets up with us, but we have to step into it by faith that we know who he is. So they call him teacher. Everybody say class is in session. Man, Jesus is about to teach them and he about to school her. Class is in session. They call him teacher. Honey, class is in session. Class is in session, y'all. She becomes a real-time object lesson. She becomes a real-time object lesson. Because see, y'all over here talking about, now Moses in the law, he commanded us, Moses in the law. Y'all over here talking about Moses and the commandments and the law. And Jesus is about to show you, I don't break the law. I came to fulfill the law. The law was created, y'all. Do y'all get this? Get this. Like, get this. Like, really get it in the narrative of the Bible. One day y'all want to just, one year, y'all in the community, we just gonna read the Bible from start to finish so everybody can get like really get this. Like, get this point. Do y'all understand that God never intended for you to be able to keep the law? Hear me. Y'all gotta hear me all the way through. When you read Leviticus, that's where I kind of go to sleep sometimes. When you read Leviticus and all those books of the law that give you all the law, class is in session because they want to bring up Moses and the laws. Understand, God never intended for you to be able to keep the law. In fact, when they bring up Moses and the law, God already knew you was going to break the law. That's why from the beginning of time, not as an afterthought, he knew he was going to send Jesus because he knew that you and I would be incapable of keeping the law. So what is the actual point of the law? The actual point of the law in context in the Bible is to show you how inadequate, how undeserving, how impossible it would be for us to have them turtle doves and perfect lambs and belts tied around our waist and dine in the inner courts, to show us how incredibly impossible it would be for you and I to actually stand in right relationship in the presence of God, not for the sake of condemnation, but for the sake then of saying, you could not ever earn your way, pay your way, do your way, be your way enough to be with me. But I love you so much. Somebody say it with me. He loves me so much that while I know you would never qualify, I'm going to qualify you through my son, Jesus. You will never be good enough in and of yourself to be in relationship with me. So I'm going to rig the thing. I'm going to stack this fight. I'm going to put weight on the scale. I'm going to make up a way for me and you to be in relationship. So when they come out to Jesus to let him know that according to the law, she done fell short, Jesus looking at them pretty much like, I've been knew. She wasn't gonna never measure up. You catching her don't prove nothing to me. I'm the all-seeing one. The fact that you come out here and tell me about Moses and the law and the commandments, and you're waiting to catch me breaking the law so that I can set her free. Since before the law existed, I knew I was coming to set all of them free, not by breaking the law, but by fulfilling the law, because we've been knew they wasn't gonna never be able to keep the law. You're coming out here like you're trying to trap me doing something. And what you don't understand is sis was always gonna get caught in adultery. We knew that from the beginning of time. So God had already negotiated with death and judgment and eternity and set up a way for her to escape. I'm the escape. Y'all better hear me this morning. I'm the escape. I came not to break the law, but to fulfill the law, because I already knew they was going to break it. Breaking the law, they got that part down. They can do that all by themselves. Somebody said that Gina can break the law all by herself. Nikita can break the law all by herself. Lee can break, Yolanda can. They got breaking the law down. I didn't come to break the law. I came to fulfill the law because I knew they was going to break it. I came so that they would know how much I love them. And y'all, when we live in a world where it's conditional, man, where you got to measure up, where you got to get it right, you got to say the right thing and do the right thing and be the right thing and blah, 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 blah. We have to tear down that stinking thinking when it comes to God, because he's unconditional. He's unconditional about me and you. Man, he's unconditional about me and you. Y'all, guilty, but growing. It's so time to go. Guilty, but growing. Let me just show you this and then we'll be done for real. So that's why when they bring up Moses, honey, in this law, listen. Then they said, testing him, that they may have something of which to accuse him. Because see, we want to accuse you of breaking the law. But Jesus stooped down and he wrote on the ground with his finger. Listen. As though he did not even hear them. You can't tell him nothing about me. Y'all better step into that by faith. The powers, the principalities, the imps, the accusers. Listen, you can't tell him nothing about me. He gonna stick beside me. Because listen, this thing ain't even about you not being able to tell him something because I'm perfect and I'm good. You can't tell him nothing because I'm caught and guilty. And he knew that from the beginning of time. He knew I was going to break the law. Y'all get this? And he knew he was going to come to fulfill the law. So nothing that anybody accuses you of and nothing that you accuse you of impacts his love for you. Because Jesus engaged with them like, I don't even hear what you're talking about. Receive it by faith, sis. Now, do we see, because somebody already out there ready to inbox me about that situation, that grace may abound? No. But we don't not sin because we're trying to earn our way. We do less sinning because we begin to realize how much we're loved and how good this relationship is with him. We do less messing up and become quicker to repent, not because we're scared about going to hell, not because he done caught us slipping and he gonna get us, not because we scared. Somebody say, I ain't scared. I ain't scared. It's none of that. We try to mature and become better because we ask ourselves, what kind of love is this? Man, what kind of love is this that bets on me every time, that gets in the midst with me when I've messed up, that knows that I'm going to break the law, but he's going to fulfill the law? Like, y'all, I don't try to walk in purpose and do the thing because I'm scared of God. I love God because he first loved me. Teresa, we're not in this thing because we don't want to go to hell. Now, I don't. Listen, I don't. But I'm not in this thing because I don't want to go to hell. I'm in this thing because he really is the best thing that ever happened to me. I love God because he first loved me. He did it first. Somebody who's in full agreement, just meet me right there and say, I love God. I love God. Yeah, I love God because he loves me. Guilty but growing. If it's blessing you, y'all go ahead and put your hands together right there. Go ahead and lean on the heart button. Give some thumbs up. Man, don't y'all feel like hugging somebody real tight? Y'all feel like we're over here being better together? I love God, and I love y'all too. So tomorrow we're going to do some wellness work. I'm so excited. I already know where we're going. We're going to really deep dive into that part where they called him teacher. If you were here yesterday, you heard me say, oh, so now he teacher. So the other day when you act like you play like you didn't know who he was. Oh, but today, because you got agenda, so we're gonna go into that for a moment. We're gonna really talk about the real space of desiring affirmation and confirmation and really helping us to know there's nothing wrong with some of that stuff. But deep diving into how to really navigate it when even the compliments that are coming towards you are because of an agenda. When the compliments, the good stuff that's coming your way is really for somebody else's downfall. How to navigate that stuff. Isn't that a good topic? Y'all get it? Y'all know? Y'all know the folk who, when you really step back from it, you realize she wasn't being nice to you for you. She was being nice to you because she knew that in being nice to you, it was going to hurt so-and-so's feelings. How do we really navigate that real talk? Somebody say, mature woman arise. I'll see you right back here in the morning as we do some wellness work on, so now he teacher. So now he teacher. It's going to be good stuff as we talk to that and learn some pragmatic tools on how to not allow yourself to be the pawn, to be the tool, to be the something that is used to wound another. Now we're not gonna do that, right? So everybody say it with me again. Mature woman arise. Thank you, Nikita. I see your comment. Mature woman arise. We're gonna do that talk tomorrow on Wellness Wednesday, and then we'll do some talk to me Thursday. So if you got questions, you got something you want me to deep dive into just a little bit more before we keep going into the story, then y'all let me know by sending that note either directly into my inbox or sending it to Jen so she can get it on my radar. All right, so that's what we got. I honor the greatness on the inside of you. I'll see you right back here in the morning. Love y'all.